Hi and welcome to this class. Our focus for today is going to be our hamstrings. Tight hamstrings are caused by tension building up in the muscle tissue. It could also be from pulling from the adjacent muscles like the abductor muscles, the inner thighs, or from our habitual patterns as always, like sitting down for prolonged periods of time. So for us to release tension in the muscles, we can use pranayama, and that's just a breathing technique or breathing exercise. So today's is going to be what we call Ujjayi breath or victorious breath. This is how we're going to breathe. Taking in a nice deep inhale through your nose and make a sound when you exhale, like a ha sound. So take it in a nice deep inhale through your nose. And then it almost sounds like you're sighing. One more time, just practicing this. Deep inhale. And then make that with the exhale. Now we're going to try that with our mouths closed. Still trying to make the sound with the mouth closed. So take in a nice deep inhale. And it sounds like a snore, like you're snoring. And this is a sort of breath work that helps us release tension in the muscles, open all those energy channels so we can allow our life force to flow well. So let's practice that two more times. So taking in a nice deep inhale and then make the with your mouth closed. And one more time. And this is your victorious breath or your Ujjayi breath. We'll use it as much as we can during our practice. We're going to begin as always. So feel yourself nice and comfortable wherever you're sat. Either closing your eyes or maintaining a soft gaze. And since our hamstrings are connected to our emotional state, we'll begin by taking in a nice deep inhale and feel like you're breathing in goodness, healing, and health. Sigh out through your mouth, releasing any worries, any concerns. Deep inhale in through the nose, breathe in some joy, some goodness. And sigh out whatever that is not serving you in this moment. Deep inhale in. And sigh out any doubt or fear. Going back to normal breathing through your nose. And observe your breath. Stay with your breath and notice that breathing. We were breathing anyway, but just for a moment, notice any habitual patterns in your breathing. Perhaps when you breathe in, the breath is shallow, it just sits on your chest. Or your breath could be fast. Without any judgment, observe the breath in this moment. And of course, when we sit in silence, that's when the mind begins to wander. And if you find a thought comes in, release that thought and come back to that awareness of your breath. And then very gently Begin to ease the breath deeper into your belly, allowing your belly to expand with the inhale. And when you exhale, can you make that a victorious breath? Allowing that exhale to be long and slow. Deep inhale in, letting your belly expand with the inhale. When you exhale, make that sound with your mouth closed, making it long. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale in. Exhale. Letting your body relax. And just notice how just a few minutes of breathing can begin to bring our bodies back into balance. And then you gently open your eyes, ready for our practice. To begin, of course, if you sat on a block or a cushion, you can put it to one side. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see easier. If you support yourself on your hands, your upper body, and you're going to let the left knee to fall to the side. So your left knee falls to the side, a bit of a stretch running down your hip, inner thigh, and then back. Then allow your left knee to fall to the side and back. Right knee. Left knee, whichever. Just working with each leg, letting each knee fall to the side. And then bringing your knees back up. Now, dig your heels into the mat. And then feel like you're dragging them back. They're not really dragging back, but just dragging, bringing your heels like you're just about to drag them. And notice that activation in the back of your legs. Now, these are your hamstrings. So release that, digging your heels into the mat and make that dragging effect. You're not really dragging them, but it feels like you're dragging them. And notice the activation in the back of your legs. And then release. One more time. Drag or feel that sensation of dragging and notice the activation in the back of your legs. So these are the muscles we'll be working with today. Now allow your heels to move further forward. Still with your knees bent, and then flex your feet. It's like you're bringing your toes back towards you, and then begin to walk yourself forward so you can do a sort of forward fold. Bring your chin to your chest. Feel the opening in your back. Everything is connected in the body, and sometimes our hamstrings could be tight and they're pulling onto our lower back. So we are not going to just work with the hamstrings, we're also going to work with all the muscles that are connected to the hamstrings. Now gently lift your head up slightly and allow your heels this time to move further forward, and maybe your knees will straighten. And then fold again. And just fold as far forward as feels comfortable. Remember to flex your feet, bringing your toes back slightly. Now notice that stretch in your hamstrings. Take a deep inhale. And then make that victorious breath, that Ujjayi breath as you breathe out. And it's like it's going into the back of your legs. 2 more times. Deep inhale in. And when you breathe out, Ujjayi breath. making it long. Feel like you're releasing any tension in the back of your legs. And just one more time. Now, first thing is you look forward and then begin to walk yourself back up into a proper seated position. If we come off our seat, coming into a child's pose. So here, knees can go nice and wide, big toes meet, allow your hips to move back as you let your arms slide forward. Now we're going to begin straight away. Let your right arm bend. Your elbow bends, your right elbow and right knee are pretty much on the same line. And then let your left arm come over towards the right side. And notice that opening on the left side of your body. Stay with the sensation of the stretch. And remember, you can use that Ujjayi breath to release any tension on that side of your body. Now we're going to begin to make our way to the left. So bending that left elbow, left knee, same line. As you allow your right arm to come round to the left. And you feel the stretch. It's more in your lower back. Again, working with that concept that everything is connected. And we just want to stretch out the lower back. You never know. A tight lower back might pull on your hamstrings. You never know. So just stretching all those adjacent muscles. And then bring yourself back to center and begin to bring yourself up into all fours. Knees come back hip width apart. From here, please feel you can use bricks under your hands if your wrists feel a bit sensitive. We're going to extend that right leg out. Tuck your toes on the right. And then allow that heel to move further back. Your hips might move further back. And notice the stretch in your calf on the right. Every time we pause, we breathe. And allow the exhale to move into your calf on the right. Now bring yourself back to neutral. Let that right leg come up. And here we're just going to pause. You're just pausing. 2, 3. Now the idea is to build strong glutes, strong bum muscles. So when we sit down for too long, our hamstrings become weak. And that means our glutes also become weak. So it's nice to build a bit of strength and activate them. So pause as much as you feel comfortable to. Pause as fast or as slow as you feel comfortable to, until you feel that activation in that right hip. Now from here, we are going to allow that right leg to come to the side, toes face forward. We'll bring our hips slightly back. Again, now notice where the stretch is. In our adductor muscles, the inner thigh. Inner thigh sometimes can pull on our hamstrings. So we get this opportunity to release any tension, any stress in the inner thighs. And then coming back to neutral. Now you have the option to either bring that right knee back and step forward, or you could have just stepped forward from where the leg was, coming into a lunge. Here, tuck your toes on the left and slide that left knee back. Now we want to stretch out the hip flexors on the left. Feel your foundation. Maybe you might rise up to your thigh on the right, or you might bring your arms all the way up. Chest comes out, looking up towards the ceiling. Notice the stretch intensify on the left. And then allow your hands to come down, framing that right foot. Left hand stays down, right arm comes up. Hip rotator stretch. You can feel that in your hip. And just because we're here, we can open up our chest and shoulder on the right by sending that right arm back. Let the right hand come back. We frame the right foot. Now begin to let your hips move back. As your hips move back, your right leg straightens, your toes face up. Every time we pause, notice the stretch. And then breathe into the stretch. Now we are stretching the hamstring again. So deep inhale here. Victorious breath into that right hamstring. Inhale. Exhale. Allow yourself to come back into a lunge, and you can use your bricks at any time, maybe to create that space to bring that right knee back, and we're back into a tabletop. So I'm gonna turn around so you can see it on the other side. So this time, it's the left leg that extends. You tuck your toes, allow your heel to move further back, and you feel the stretch in your calf on the left. Everything is connected. That calf could be pulling on your hamstring. Deep inhale and exhale. And then allowing yourself to come back to center. Lift that left leg up and we pause, building strong glutes. And you're just here for as long as feels good. Activating your hip, your bum, your glutes. Moving as fast as feels good or as slow as feels good. Let's just do a few more till we feel that fire in the hip. And then here, just allowing that left foot to come to the side. Hips move back. As they move back, you feel that activation in your inner thigh. It's not an activation, actually, it's a stretch. Adductor muscles, again, muscles can pull onto your hamstring. And then bringing yourself back to center. Now you have the option here to just take your bricks if you need them. And all we're doing is stepping this left leg forward. Tuck your toes on the right and slide that right knee back and tuck your toes. Notice the stretch in your hip flexors. Hands can either come onto that left thigh or up. Now when they come up, chest comes out, look up towards the ceiling. Breathe for a moment and then begin to bring your hands back down. And your bricks can go to one side, allowing that right hand to come onto the mat. Left arm comes up. We notice the stretch. And then just sending that left arm towards the back, opening your chest and shoulder on the left. Now let's frame that left foot, and you can choose to take your bricks again, just to create the space or to bring the ground closer to you as we send our hips back. Left leg straightens, toes face up. Now feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. Deep inhale in. Long exhale. And then come back into a lunge. And let that left leg come back. Bricks go to one side. And we're back into a tabletop. From tabletop, tucking your toes, letting your knees come up, extend your legs, hips move back, extend your spine, be here and then bring one heel down. Notice the stretch in the back of your left leg or whichever leg, and then the other heel comes down and we pedal, just bringing one heel down at a time, so that you can notice the stretch in the back of the leg.
You have the option either to move your hands back towards your feet or let your feet move forward towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Keep your knees nice and soft. Clasp your elbows. Allow your arms to hang heavy. Breathe into your hamstrings. If you feel the discomfort of the stretch, can you ease yourself into the stretch by breathing? You find ease. Allow your arms to release. Take an inhale, come up halfway. Extend your legs, extend your spine, and look out. And then bring yourself all the way back down into a full fold. Option to use your bricks. Always have some bricks. They always come handy. Now, keeping your knees nice and soft, let your bricks come to the left side. And it's okay if you don't have bricks. You can just bring your hands to the left. Notice the opening on the right. Again, stretching out your lower back. And also, wherever you're feeling the stretch in your legs, we begin to make our way to the other side. So bricks come to the right. And notice that opening on the left. Breathing. Bricks come back to center, or hands. You don't have to have your bricks. Hands come onto the mat. Bend your knees enough to allow your hands to come to the mat. And then just begin to walk your feet back as you come into a tabletop. Now from tabletop, let your feet swing to one side. So you bring your hips down, coming into a seated position. We'll finish sitting down. So here, while we sat down, we'll allow that right leg to come over the left. And then your right foot moves further back. It moves further back until your right knee falls forward. Flex that foot, the left foot. Allow your hands to make their way forward slightly and feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. Do you remember that victorious breath? And that's what we're going to use here. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Breathe into your hamstring on the left. Release all tension. Deep inhale. Long exhale. One more time. Deep inhale. Feel that exhale in the back of your left leg, releasing all tension. And then you can just gently bring yourself up as you release. Now we're just going for the other side. So bringing the left leg over. Allow your left foot to come further back so that your knee falls forward. Flex your right foot. Activate your hamstring. Allowing your hands to move slightly forward. Notice the stretch in the back of your left leg. Taking a nice deep inhale. And feel like the exhale goes to the back of your right leg. Deep inhale in. Long exhale. One more time. Exhale, release every tension in the back of your hamstring.
And then gently bring yourself back up and releasing. And here you have the option to just bring yourself down in Shavasana, being there for a few minutes, just releasing more tension from your body. We can never release enough tension. Just keep going until it feels good in the body. I do hope you enjoyed stretching out your hamstrings and all the muscles adjacent to them. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.